Welcome back. I'm Joe Hellriegel with sports. Well, cold weather isn't stopping UNF baseball players from perfecting their craft. There is no such thing as a day off for the UNF baseball team. The baseball players use the off-season as a time to hone in on their skills and baseball fundamentals. Players practice their hitting, their fielding, and catching at Dusty Rhodes Field on a daily basis. Head baseball coach Smoke Laval knows that this time of year is crucial in a player's development.
While I'm waiting for the guy to hit 15, 20 homers, while I'm waiting for a guy to go 13-1, that's what the fall's for. So they got to learn to field, pickoffs, hold runners, steal a base, cheat a little bit, what to read, what to look for, see how quick they can pick it up. So I call.
The Ospreys get back into action this coming February when they open at home against Southern Illinois. The Osprey basketball team got its season started Tuesday night with an exhibition game against Flagler College. The team is coming off a school-best 10-10 record in conference play and first ever appearance in the ASUN title game, but the Ospreys got off to a slow start as they fell behind early on. They shot 40% in the first half and struggled on the defensive side all night, but what they did do well was score off turnovers, outscoring Flagler 35-13 off those turnovers, making their Osprey debuts in the game were freshman Fred Landers and redshirt sophomore Travis Wallace. Overall, the Ospreys played a disciplined game with 16 steals and 10 turnovers, but did get out-rebounded 50-42. After the game, Coach Driscoll talked about the positives and negatives that came out of this game.
Obviously, it's always great to win, but in the same breath, you know, we didn't do some of the things that we were capable of doing, and it's early in the season, and sometimes you think a veteran group's going to be okay and be able to overcome those hurdles and do those things, and sometimes those things just don't come to fruition. We're trying to be a little different this year because we're a little bit more athletic, we're a little bit deeper, so we're trying to do some things where we can create a little bit of tempo, and I thought we did.
The Ospreys' next game is on Friday, November 11th at Alabama. The men's and women's cross-country team competed in the Atlantic Sun Conference Championships, where the women took second in the meet, running right behind Lipscomb, who took their first ever ASUN championship, scoring 53 points. UNF ran for 69 points, outrunning Belmont, who took third. In the men's race, they proved to be a much tighter competition, with the top 5 teams all within 25 points of each other. But the Ospreys took fifth with 94 points, while USC Upstate took the championship with 69 points. Both the men's and women's teams head to Tuscaloosa, Alabama for the NCAA South Region Championships on November 12th. Well, moving over to soccer, the men's team ended the year with a 4-1 loss at home to Florida Gulf Coast, ending their year 0-8 in ASUN play and 1-15 overall. The one win was a 1-0 victory over Longwood on September 3rd. On the women's side, the team beat Belmont 1-0 in Nashville in the first round of the ASUN tournament. Catherine Schaefer scored the game's only goal, the first of her career. With this win, the Ospreys will face top-seeded Florida Gulf Coast and Fort Myers. The game is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Well, now let's take a look at this week's High School Athlete of the Week, John Theus.
John Theus is a 5-star offensive tackle at the Bolles School, and having committed to the University of Georgia, he will continue his run as a Bulldog. He's been committed to Georgia for over a year and will join his brother Nathan Theus, who is the team's long snapper. John picked the Bulldogs over Florida, Alabama, Notre Dame, and Texas, and he said that it is because he feels at home in Athens.
I've always said the coaches there and the people there that I really enjoyed. Every time I went up there, I felt at home. And it was just like a second home up there. You know, my brother's up there, everybody knows that. And every time I go up there, I fit in with everybody, and I just love it there. I feel right at home.
John feels that he is ready to take his game to the next level and is committed to fine-tuning his game as his senior year comes to a close.
I mean, this season I've definitely, tried to work on the little things and get everything right. I got a great offensive line coach and Coach Bellinger out here, and we work on stuff every day, just the technicians of being offensive linemen.
And as the season continues to wind down, John says that looking back, the connections he made with his teammates are the biggest thing that he took from the high school football experience.
Definitely the relationship with my friends out here. These are my boys, my second family. I love these guys to death, and I'd do anything for them. So that's definitely the biggest thing that I take from this out here.
Sam Hauser, UNF Weekly.
John said that his teammates are his biggest inspiration. He even called them his brothers. And while he may miss his brothers, he also said that he looks forward to the next step, the University of Georgia. Well, now let's take a look at some of the matchups this week in high school football. Well, Jackson at Bowles. Bowles is coming off a loss to Rains last week, and Jackson has a 3-4 record, so we'll see how that game turns out. Well, now two beach teams, Pedro Menendez at Ponte Vedra. Both teams with only 3 wins this season, so that'll be an interesting game. And finally, Bartram Trail at Wolfson is another big game to look for this week. Last week, Bartram lost to St. Augustine 26-10, so we will see if they can recover for tomorrow's game.
So the football player from Bowles, his brother plays for Georgia?
Yeah.
And he's going to be joining him next year.
Yeah, he'll go to Georgia. He's a senior this year at Bowles. He'll be joining his brother. His name's Nathan. He's a long snapper for Georgia, so he'll be playing along his side. Yeah, it'll be cool to watch them both.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Do you know what venison tastes like?
One snake does.